No barking, please. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're seeing me or hearing my voice. My name is Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. I like to go by Pajama Grandma these days because that is who I am, number one, and number two, what I get to do. I have worked in the offline brick and mortar world for decades, and about a year and a half ago, I got the opportunity to not do my business anymore, sell my business, and decide what it was that I wanted to do. And I have always been interested in the internet, so I decided I would explore that as an opportunity, as an option for me. And so what I'm doing every day, I'm sharing my transition from the traditional business, I'm talking manufacturing and retail, brick and mortar they call it, world, to the online world of business and commerce, or whatever you want to call it, and just making a living online in my pajamas. And I found several months ago that I was spending like lots of hours in my pajamas, or my robe when it's not so hot. I would be in my pajamas for hours and hours during the day because I didn't have to get dressed. I didn't have to get super cleaned up, and I could still be doing my thing, doing my business, working with people, and striving to make the world a better place. Sip of tea time. And it's been this incredible adventure as I've learned the ups and downs of the online business world, what works, what doesn't work. And some days I feel like I've figured out way up more what doesn't work than what does. But then other days I feel, voila, I figured out what works. And so every day, it's kind of like when I used to golf before my eyes went bad and I had to use a magnifying glass for everything. I used to try to golf. And I say I used to try to golf because I've never been a very good golfer. I always thought it was fun, loved being outdoors, walking around the golf course, as long as there weren't people behind me that were frustrated because I'm a slow golfer, because it would take me 12 shots per hole or more. I would love golfing because every once in a while you would get that amazing golf swing or that amazing golf shot that made you want to keep trying and keep playing the game. And I think that's what it is about golf that makes it so addictive, and why people love it so much is because you keep moving and striving for that perfect shot, that perfect hole, that hole in one, whatever it is that keeps golfers going. But it's the same thing with everything that we do, especially with respect to our businesses. And that's not only true of online businesses, but offline businesses as well. We will take a shot or make a swing, and it may or may not hit the mark. It may or may not reach our goal. We may or may not reach our goal, but we keep swinging because we know eventually if we keep swinging in the right direction, we will get that hole in one. We will have that business success. And so it's the same thing with me as I'm working toward my online endeavors. I recently found out that I need to make a massive, and I was thinking it was a 360, but it's not really a 360. It's more like what my kids would call a 180 tail slide, where I have to flip and change my direction and do something different with my business. And it's not a fault of my own. And what I'm doing, I just have to put on hold for about, I'm not sure how long, but probably for 8 months. 8 months in internet time is a really long time. And I'm okay with that because, frankly, I recently just committed to it being my one thing. So I can switch to another one thing for that time period, and I can actually help a lot more people quickly with the new thing and the new direction than I could with the other direction. The other direction that I'm switching away from temporarily, it was a passion of mine. It is a passion of mine because I know I can help a lot of people, but it's something that just has to go on hold for a while. So as I'm putting that on hold, I'll just explore other things because, like most people in the universe, I've got lots of things that I'm interested in and lots of things that I've done. So I will just capitalize on, and not capitalize on, but just make use of skills that I have in other areas than the skills that I was going to use. Okay, this tea that my daughter introduced me to has these neat little sayings on each of the little tea bags. And today's is, use your head to live with heart. I like that. Use your head to live with heart. She's actually doing a photo project where she takes pictures of them. She's a photographer. And she was looking for a project. And I'm like, well, geez, you drink tea every day. You got these little sayings. Find something to do with that. And so she's been doing a fun little project with that. I'll be curious to see how it turns out. It's just sometimes you have to have just fun little side projects. For example, to get me to talk on video, I'm doing what's called the Daily Scare Share. And I just share one thing every day from a book called Do One Thing a Day That Scares You. And I just talk about that and what I'm going to do today to stretch my comfort zone. That's just a little thing that got me to move in the direction of something that I wanted to do, but I was a little afraid to do. And that's like this tea project is. Sometimes you just have to pick a little tea project and move in the direction that you want to go. And if that's always in the direction of helping people and doing something for other people, that always leads you toward what your next thing is or what your next step is. At least that's what I found to be true for me. So today, what am I up to? I've got actually 2 exciting interviews today. Normally, I don't ever do more than 1 interview a day, but today just happened to be one of those days that 2 incredible people were available, and I'm never going to say no to putting incredible people in front of my audience, my podcast, and the people that I know they can help. So I will be doing 2 interviews today, and I'm sure they will go fine because all I have to do is ask the questions, and my amazing guests bring their expertise and bring their knowledge and bring their wisdom to share with folks. And I secretly learn more probably than anyone else on those calls, which is why I really love doing them. So not only are they a service for the audience and for the people that are listening, but they always benefit me. I always learn something from everyone that I meet and everyone that I talk to. And even the strangest people, sometimes we think that other people can't teach us anything based on our judgments of them. But I've found that the more open I am to understanding that everybody can teach me something and I can learn something from everybody, the more I appreciate and am grateful for all the people that come into my life because they really are here to teach me something. Sometimes I don't want to learn the lesson, or sometimes I don't want to see the lesson. Have you ever been there? Has that ever happened to you where someone's right in your face with something and you don't want to see it because you know that it's the truth for you and it's something that you really need to see at the time? I've been getting quite a bit of that lately. I hate to admit it, but it's true. But sometimes when we're critical in judgment of other people, okay, not sometimes, all the time, when we're critical in judgment of other people or judging other people, it's because they're showing us something about ourselves that we don't want to necessarily see, or that we haven't seen, or that is there that we're ignoring. And that's why I think it's fascinating to watch social interactions on the internet and on social media, because I don't know that people realize that when they spew hate and prejudice and anger and meanness, that's just showing the world who they are. I don't think they know that it's true, because I think if they knew it, they wouldn't do it. But they obviously don't know, or they wouldn't say some of the things that they say. They wouldn't do some of the things that they do, because it does show all the rest of us, and not all the rest of us, but it shows some of us who have a clue exactly who they are. So make sure you're showing the world who you are and who you want to be, not necessarily your initial gut reaction to things. So 2 interviews. I'm working on my 180 tail slide direction, so I'll be building out. I want to do an indoctrination series. I learned this from Landon Porter, is the first person I saw do it, and he's probably not the first person that's ever done it, but he did it in a really creative way for his group, getting customers or getting clients without being salesy. And I love that group, and it's really funny because at first I was a little bit, is this group for me? Do I really belong here? And I totally do, because I hate being salesy. But I, like most people that begin sales or marketing in the past, I did a lot of stuff wrong. I mean, especially I got involved in a network marketing company, and the things that they taught me, and I didn't know better. I just did what my leadership and my upline taught me, because that's what you normally do when you enter a new position or a new role. You do what you're told, especially like on a job, right? You go there, you got a new job, somebody's training you, you do what you're told. And you don't always think about, is this really the smartest, best, right way to do this? Sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't. Well, back then, I didn't, and I did a lot of stupid things that I look back on now after being involved in this group, and I'm like, oh my God, I looked like such a douchebag or an idiot. No wonder people got mad and unfriended me and didn't like me, and my sisters and family told me that I posted too much and did all this weird stuff. Well, because I did, but out of ignorance. So, love this group. But one thing that Landon did on the front of his group for getting clients without being salesy is he created a treasure hunt. And it's an actual training that teaches people how to interact and be a part of his group. Amazing group. But if you're not going to go through the treasure hunt, it specifically says go through this treasure hunt before you post. Yet I would believe that almost every day somebody posts without looking at it, and it becomes so obvious to the people that have been through the treasure hunt and are a part of the group that they just hopped in with their own agenda. And so I was on a call yesterday where they were saying that 50% of the people that apply to be part of the group just get denied. They don't get into the group. And so I kind of felt honored that I actually made it into the group. But I want to set up something like that for my group. And of course, it'll be very me. It won't be Guerrilla Nation-y, and it won't be anything like a treasure hunt and what he's done. But I think it's an amazing way to bring people into your group and make sure that you're working with the right people and that they're in the right place too. I love that approach because most of us have found, if we're old enough, that it's very painful to work with people that we don't get on with, or that we don't, it's called resonate, that we don't resonate with or relate to or have good vibrations around or feel good working with. I guess it's bottom line, choosing people to work with that don't mesh with us, that we don't feel good working with. If you've been in business for any amount of time, and I've been in business for decades, you're bound to have customers and clients that just plain stink. And not because they're bad people, but because they're very different in their beliefs and their values and the things that they think are important and the way they want things done are very different than the way you like to operate and do business. And those can be very painful times. I will admit from personal experience, those times can actually kill you. I had a sudden cardiac arrest, not due in small part, I'm sure looking back, because of the people I was involved with, because of the stress of the situation I had found myself in, because I had chosen the wrong partners, not only life partner, but business partner. And they weren't the same person, but all kind of culminated simultaneously to create massive major health challenges for me because I didn't know how to handle it. And I didn't know how I was going to get out of and deal with some situations that I found myself in that really, again, not through any fault of my own except attracting the wrong people, but I think that they came along and I attracted them into my life to show me that I'm a heck of a lot stronger than I ever thought I was, and that even when I'm down, I'm never out as long as I know that there's another way of being and thinking, and there's always some other possibility. So those are the things I'm working on today. If you want to share what you're working on in the comments below, I would love to know, especially if there's any way I can help you. I love helping people to achieve their goals and their dreams. And in any way that I can, I'm here because it just really supercharges me and makes me happy. So go out, make it an awesome day. I will see you tomorrow with another little update on what I'm working on, what's working, what's not. Right now, my air conditioning is not working and I'm sweltering. Got the fan on and the air going, but it's hot and humid and rainy out here. And I'm not going to complain one bit because a month and a half ago, we had a blizzard and it was snowy and blowy. And so I just love watching the green and enjoying the green as the day unfolds for me. So go out and make it an awesome day. Look for those interviews on the Pajama Grandma podcast. You can find it on iTunes and all over the place. If you're listening to me on the podcast, thank you very much. If you would rate it, I would sure appreciate that. This is the first time I've even asked for ratings or told people about the podcast. I don't know that I've even mentioned it before. So go out and make it an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.